Okay, so if you've ever lovingly restored a vintage RC buggy, maybe like a Tamiya Frog, Grasshopper, Hornet, you definitely know that feeling, seeing those gleaming anodized aluminum hop-up bumpers. They just look so much stronger. They promise, way better durability for your prized machine. But here's the thing that trips a lot of us up, me included. How can this part, sold as being super strong, actually make the whole car more fragile, like lead to really catastrophic chassis damage? My brain just struggles with that paradox.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to try and unravel this using a bit of material science, some impact physics. Really get to the bottom of what an RC bumper is actually supposed to do. You see, the main job of a bumper isn't just to be this indestructible shield. Think of it more like an energy manager, a bit like crumple zones in, real cars. It's actually designed to deform, maybe bend a little. That converts the crash energy into heat, maybe some sound, and it stretches out the impact time. Stretching out the impact makes the peak force much, much lower for the rest of the car.
Okay, wait. That totally flips how I think about strength or durability. My gut says doesn't break means strong. So how does this idea, this energy absorption thing, how does that change what durability means for an RC car?
Right, that's the core misunderstanding, isn't it? Those aftermarket aluminum bumpers, sure, they have great part durability. The bumper itself probably won't break. But, and this is a crucial bit, they kill the system durability, they just don't flex. So they transfer that full instantaneous whack right into the chassis. And that often means a much bigger, more expensive repair. Think like a cracked chassis tub instead of just swapping out a cheap plastic bumper.
Ah, okay. That clicks. I remember once carefully adding some extra bracing to my old Hornet, thinking I'd fixed a weak spot, then bam, next crash, something totally different, snapped clean off. Now I'm thinking maybe I just shifted the failure point somewhere else.
Exactly. That's a perfect example.
So if the bumper's real job is managing energy, protecting the whole system, how do the materials themselves play into this? ABS plastic, aluminum, nylon.
Well, the original Tamiya kits, the chassis, the bumpers, they're typically ABS plastic. It's chosen for balance, right?
Yeah.
It gives you some flex, some impact resistance, but yeah, it has its limits. Then you've got aluminum, like 6E6-1 or 7075 alloys. Very, very rigid. Almost no flex, so it acts like a solid bar, just transmitting pretty much all the force straight to where it's mounted. Great for, say, steering knuckles where you don't want flex, but really bad for bumpers. Now, for performance, especially energy absorption, nylon is often the way to go. It's flexible, super tough. Its impact resistance can be like 10 times that of ABS. It deforms elastically, meaning it bends and springs back, soaking up huge amounts of energy.
Yeah.
And modern nylons, sometimes with fillers, they can even be tuned for stiffness. Racers love that stuff. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Why is aluminum so destructive on those classic plastic Tamiya chassis specifically? Right. Those classic Tamiya designs, the bathtub tubs or the space frame types, they're usually that flexible ABS. And crucially, the spots where the bumper mounts. They're often just plain plastic, maybe some tabs, some screw holes, unreinforced. They were designed expecting a flexible, forgiving plastic bumper. So you crash with that rigid aluminum bumper, it refuses to give it all. All that kinetic energy gets instantly focused on those few weak plastic mounting points. And that's sudden stress. It's way more than the plastic can handle. So you get those classic failures. Cracked gearbox casings, screw threads ripping right out, mounting tabs just snapping off. Meanwhile, the aluminum bumper looks perfect while your chassis is toast. It's that cascade of failure idea. You strengthen one part without thinking about the system, and you just move the breaking point somewhere else, often somewhere much worse. We've even seen folks do all aluminum builds. Looks amazing. But one decent hit bends an expensive chassis plate permanently. Then it's basically just a shelf queen.
Wow. Okay. So what does this mean for us then? How do we build an RC car that's actually resilient, that can take a knock?
For just general running around, bashing in the yard or park, high-quality nylon bumpers are pretty much the gold standard now. They absorb impacts really well. And 3D printing has opened up amazing options. You can get parts in rubbery TPU, which is fantastic for shock absorption, almost like a cushion. Or you can get stiffer filled nylons from 3D printing too. There are even hybrid designs out there, maybe some dense foam acting as a crumple zone, backed by a more rigid plate for support. Lots of clever solutions.
Okay, but is there ever a time when aluminum is the right call for a bumper?
Oh, absolutely, for sure. If you're building a Shelf Queen, a model just for display, aluminum looks fantastic. Impact performance doesn't matter then. And in rock crawling, heavy metal bumpers are actually often a benefit. They add useful weight down low for stability and traction. Plus, they act as really durable skid plates, sliding over rocks instead of absorbing big hits. The impacts are different, slower usually. Even those all-aluminum builds can work. Aesthetically, they're stunning, but you just have to run them carefully. Hard impacts can still cause that irreversible bending of expensive parts.
Okay, what really stands out to me from all this is just how our basic intuition about stronger is better can be totally wrong sometimes. It really boils down to understanding the difference between the durability of one single part versus the durability of the whole system. That seems to resolve the paradox we started with.
Exactly. It's never about a material being just good or bad. It's always about picking the right tool for the specific job. What are you doing with the RC car? Is it for bashing, racing, sitting on a shelf, crawling over rocks? That intended use has to guide your upgrade choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Ultimately, it feels like the most satisfying RC projects, the ones that really work well, are built with that kind of holistic view, right? Where every part is chosen to work together towards a specific goal. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Where else in life do we maybe upgrade just one single thing thinking we're making it better, only to find out we've accidentally made the whole system weaker somehow? Something to chew on until our next deep dive.